This channel has already walked through inspection costs, closing costs, renovation costs, and property tax on a cheap Japanese house. There's one more recurring bill almost nobody asks about before they buy: insurance. On an old wooden Akiya specifically, it is not the same small line item it would be on a new house. Property insurance in Japan comes in two layers. Fire insurance, which also covers wind, water, and other general damage, is the base policy, and it typically runs somewhere between 20 and 50,000 yen a year for an ordinary wooden house, though a full comprehensive policy on a wood frame home can run meaningfully higher than that. Earthquake insurance is not sold on its own in Japan. It only exists as an add-on to a fire policy, and it typically adds another 20 to 50,000 yen a year, with the rate set by the government rather than by individual insurers, varying by prefecture and construction type. Insurers price risk, and an old wooden Akiya carries more of it than a new build. Aged wiring, older roofing, and construction that predates modern fire-resistant standards. Wood frame structures as a category can cost 2 to 3 times more to insure than a fire-resistant or steel frame building of similar size, and a decades-old house that has been sitting vacant checks nearly every box insurers price upward. This is a genuinely ordinary insurance calculation, not a penalty specific to Akiya. It is simply what old and wooden costs to underwrite anywhere. Combined, fire and earthquake insurance on an average detached Japanese house commonly lands around 50,000 yen a year, a little over $300, though an older wooden Akiya should be budgeted at the higher end of that range rather than the average. It will not be the line item that breaks a renovation budget. It is, however, a real, recurring annual cost that almost never appears on the listing page next to the purchase price, alongside property tax as one of the two bills that keep arriving long after closing day is over. Insurance was never going to be the expense that makes or breaks a $10,000 house. What it deserves is the same treatment as every other hidden cost on this channel, a real number, in advance, instead of a surprise on the first renewal notice. For an old wooden Akiya, budgeted at the higher end, then stop thinking about it, because it is genuinely one of the smaller bills in the entire process. If this made Japan's empty house market a little clearer, subscribe to Akiya Handbook, the channel that explains how Japan's cheap houses actually work, honestly, and without selling you anything. There is also a free guide waiting in the description, the Akiya Buyer's Starter Guide, how to buy a cheap house in Japan without getting burned. 11 chapters on the truth about so-called free houses, the hidden costs, and who should not buy. No hype, and completely free. The link is below. Thanks for watching.